Good afternoon and welcome to our first annual Islip Goes Purple event here in the town of Islip. And the hope is that someday we'll not have to have something like this. I'd like to begin just by recognizing some of the guests and elected officials, community leaders who have taken the time to join us here today. Elected officials, Senator Boyle was not able to be here, but he is being represented by Patricia Walsh. Certainly we have with us our Councilman John Cochran, Legislator Tom Silmy. On behalf of Assemblyman Mike LaPetrie, we have Mike Falk, our Town Clerk Olga Murray, Councilwoman Mary Kate Mullen, and I think I saw Alexis White, Receiver of Taxes. And we have many other representatives here. I know the members of the task force, the Islip Opioid and Heroin task force that we've had together now for a couple of years, have been diligently working on this issue and are here behind me. MaryAnn Pfeiffer of Yes, who is the co-chair of the task force, along with Drew Scott, former newscaster from News 12. He has been at the forefront and unfortunately just got out of the hospital, is not able to be with us today, but he's doing better. Kathy Koenigsdorf, founder of the Jake Koenigsdorf Foundation. Nicole, who will be joining us in a moment with a message of hope and recovery. And we have community leaders from so many groups: Community Ambulance, Bayshore Brightwaters, Central Islip Exchange. I don't have a list, but you'll see that they're all here joining with us today in support of this effort. It's a very significant and meaningful day for our community. The month of September is National Recovery Month. Today marks Islip's commitment to stand together, united in memory of the lives lost, those in recovery, those struggling, and the Islip families affected by the opioid and heroin crisis. The town of Islip has been at the forefront of the opioid and heroin crisis, forming this task force in 2018 to address the issue. This crisis does not discriminate. It affects everyone, regardless of economic or social status. Alarmingly, there have been 21 deaths in the town of Islip this year thus far. And Charlie Spencer, who is very active in our community and also serves as a funeral director, I know he is here. He has shared with me a statistic in the last month: 4 young people under the age of 27 he buried because of this crisis. The majority were males between the ages of 30 and 39 years old. In 2018, the town of Islip fire and EMS agencies responded to 1,344 overdose-related 9/11 calls in 1 year. That's over 100 calls a month. Today's event marks our first annual Islip Goes Purple event. The level of enthusiasm from local businesses and merchants to be part of this community event has been outstanding. And this has just been a really short time frame that this opportunity was brought to us, and Kathy, I thank you for that. But the task force jumped right on it. They were out there talking to members of the community who just embraced the whole concept. Next year it will be townwide. This year we just confined it to the hamlet of Islip, but other hamlets heard about it and are participating. And I thank each and every one of you for participating and joining us here today. In September 2020, the town of Islip will go purple for the entire month of September. And I was mentioning the community groups. I see Kik is also here, and the Roby Johnson from our wonderful Rosie Bohm American Legion post right behind us, the Islip Chamber of Commerce. So many community groups have just jumped on and have agreed to be a part of this. And I would ask representatives from Northwell, I know, Angela, you've been on the task force, please come join us here too. We are so fortunate that we not only have one hospital, but 2 hospitals in our town that are there for us. Good Samaritan Hospital, and Southside Northwell. And both have been staunch supporters and members of our task force from day one. I'd like to introduce our first speaker, the Executive Director of Youth Enrichment Services, who is the co-chair of the task force. And also I wanted to mention, I acknowledged her earlier, Mary Kate Mullen, Councilwoman Mullen, is the town's liaison from the town board on the task force, and she too has been at all of the meetings, and we thank you so much, Kate. MaryAnn, if you would.
Welcome, everybody. I'm very excited to be here today. My co-chairperson, Drew Scott, sends his best wishes. He is recovering. He's doing great, and he could not be here. I want to just thank Kathy Koenigsdorf for everything, for bringing us the idea, supporting this through and through. Liz Mayott, Anthony Mastrotonio, who owns Dang Barbecue and is doing purple milkshakes later, and Frank from Doodle Dog Graphics, and so many others. And if I forgot you, and everybody in the town, Carolyn Travis Crimmy, everybody, Deidre Wahlberg, everybody who's reached out and made this possible and smiled through it, and like you, because we need you guys. It's important because it's really all about you guys. Yes, okay. You're probably right about that. I also want to shout out the different organizations, and if I don't have your organization, it's because you didn't sign in, but at any time let us know and we can shout that out. So we have the Central Islip Fire Department, the Hop Hog Fire Department. We have Outreach with this great group of kids. Can we have a round of applause? And Outreach is a member on the task force. Suffolk County PAL, the Neighborhood House, Grief and Loss, and they're here and they do tremendous work with families who have suffered through this. And my YES staff, who without you guys, you're not all here, but I just want to say thank you for every time I say, go buy easels, we need easels, that you're right there. And especially to Jessica Olsen-Hoke, who is our Director of Prevention, and her staff. So can we just have a round of applause, because they do this every day, they live for this. IDA post-prom, Islip Boosters, the Town of Islip Youth Bureau, Tim Mayer for all your support, Islip Ambulance, Maxed Out Drug Prevention, Exchange Ambulance, Northwell Hospital, Justin from Good Samaritan Hospital's here. We didn't shout him out, but there he is right behind us. State Farm and East Islip, Kiwanis, Bayshore Islip, Islip Chamber of Commerce, Community Ambulance of Sayville, and so many others that I'm sure are here. And if we did not get you, I also want to thank the superintendent from Brentwood Schools, Rich Lochner. Thank you. And Rich is just I see my superintendents are the best. We have 12 districts and we have the best superintendents. Also, our superintendent from Sayville Schools, John Stimmel. Thank you guys. And last but not least, Bernadette Burns, excuse me. No, I know. I have to be more formal. Bernadette Burns from West Islip School District, thank you for coming. Other superintendents have sent their regrets that they cannot be here, but they are all on board with this. And this project, as we'll explain later, is really about focusing our communities based on the school districts so we can streamline what we want to do and include our schools. Without further ado, I thank you all for showing up. One quick thing, Bubba's just announced that they're going to be doing purple tacos free starting after the event, but when the supplies run out, that's it. So let's support. We have so many businesses in the town that are doing stuff that have done an amazing job. So just to let you know, Dang's is doing milkshakes. We have cupcakes, and Kathy will announce. We have Karen Sweeting who made the pops, the purple pops. But again, just to say, there are a lot of other businesses by next year that want to do a lot more. I would like to bring up somebody who is going to inspire us with hope that this is not always, it does not always end in, and unfortunately, there is hope, and she's going to talk about she has a story about survival. Nicole, please come up.
Thank you. Why does the short girl follow the tall girl? Because we're the thing. Okay. Hi. Speak the truth even if your voice shakes. My message today is a message of hope. This disease perpetuates in shame and stigma. It's people like me and you who have to stand up and be a part of a community so that our loved ones aren't afraid to stand up and get help, and that families will recover with them. My son, Justin, was homeless and living under a bridge 4.5 years ago in Miami. He was eating out of a dumpster. And I'm here to tell you that recovery can happen. And today he celebrates 4 years in sobriety. And I will tell you, to be a part of a community and to be part of a movement is imperative. This disease hides in the darkness, and what Islip is doing, and I hope the rest of Suffolk County is going to follow suit, is to stand up and say that this is a disease, it's an illness, and as a community we need to band together and we need to show support for families that think that they can't show their face. It's imperative that we all stand up and we support each other against this epidemic that our island has been faced and hit with so hard. I will say that families, there's so much out there for you. There's so much hope. There's so much support. There's nothing to hide about. So be purple, stand up, and recovery is not only possible, but it's probable. And the more we band together, the more that will be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicole. I'm sure that wasn't easy. And I want us all to take away, her first words were that it's a disease. And we need to remember that. And we need to have hope. Our next speaker is a woman who has been tireless in trying to raise awareness and make a difference. And that's Kathy Koenigsdorf, the founder of the Jake K Foundation in memory of her son, Jake. Kathy?
Thank you. We started on last Friday, canvassing the streets. We've been working on this for a couple of weeks, trying to pull this together very quick. And I can tell you what should have taken about an hour and a half to hand out flyers and bulbs took about 4 hours. Everyone had a story. Everyone wanted to talk about how they've been affected. So as of last night, I walked the street to see who was already on board, and I can't tell you, you have to see our main street. Our main street is purple. Just wait to see it after dark. So with everything, there's always a who, what, where, why, and how. Let me start with why. As with anything we do in life, we all have reasons for what we choose to do. I have mine. I lost my oldest child 6 years ago to a heroin overdose. Jake was 21, and he was raised in East Islip. I know the struggle, I know the pain, and I know the ultimate loss, but I've never known the shame because I would never accept it. I have been loud since day one. Shame keeps people from asking for help. Some of our community is suffering in the dark by themselves and afraid for themselves. They're afraid for their loved ones, and they're afraid for the judgment of others. Some have lost their kids like me, some their spouses, some their brothers and sisters, and some lost their best friend. Someone on your block has lost somebody or has lost something that has meant everything to them. Someone is living in pain and fear here every single day. Someone here has lost property. Store owners have lost inventory. Cars and homes are broken into for money to feed a chemical addiction. Car accidents, absenteeism at work, and workplace performance is affected. Arrests are up and jails are full. Everyone is affected one way or the other. Police departments, ambulance services, and hospital systems know firsthand the effects of substance abuse and active addiction. They often feel helpless and frustrated. And I have to say, I had no idea they were all going to be here. And that just tells you just how much they're affected and they want to pull together to help us out here. So why are we here today? So some who are here today are living proof that recovery is possible. I know recovery is possible. And I think there is hope. But we need you. The Opioid Task Force is committed to creating opportunity for everyone, regardless of your why, or maybe because of their why. How? Starting today and over the next months, we will be gathering data, people, organizations, supports, and ideas. We are working on a plan to disseminate this information and a map of how everyone works together to make a difference. We have a map, but you can't see it. It's behind everybody. And it has every community member on it, right from organizations, hospitals, PDs, school. There's an entire school track to this, and we'll be rolling that out. Starting at August 31st, 2020 International Overdose Awareness Day, the town, the entire town of Islip will be purple. We won't stop until it is. Our main streets will have East Islip, West Islip, Sayville, Bayshore. All the communities will care. Purple flags, purple lights, and purple window displays. Our restaurants will be serving a few specialty purple items for the month of September. Our churches, organizations, and schools will play a vital role. And the best part, our residents. Our streets will glow purple to support everyone on the block and their neighbors on the next street. The goal is to have a purple light bulb lighting the front of every home, starting August 31st, 2020, which is International Overdose Awareness Day, and lit every night the month of September, which is Recovery Month. Today, in a few minutes, we'll be done talking, we'll start acting. We have a setup over here with stickies and the maps. Now, we had to find geography, so we used our school districts to do it. We are asking everyone to do one of three things. If you are a person that wants to volunteer, fill that out, put your school district number, because they're all broken down by number, put your school district number and put it on the map. If you have an idea that no one has thought about, put it on a sticky. Give us the school district, give us contact information, and we will disseminate that. And connections. If you are part of a group that wants to take a stand, let us know that, how to contact you, and what district you come from. Maybe you're all three. Maybe you're a pick. Maybe you're a person, an idea, and a connection. After you fill out your sticky, please place it on the school district so we can figure out what districts we have to hit a little harder right up front. Please take photos here today. Post them on the Islip Goes Purple Facebook page. This is our community page, how we're going to share. If you know anyone who couldn't be here today and wants to be part of Islip Goes Purple, please have them email us at islipgoespurple@gmail.com. We will be contacting them as we get the data sorted. We are so grateful for everyone who came here today to be part of something bigger than any one person or any one organization. And I'd like to thank Angie Carpenter for convening the Islip Opioid Task Force and all my fellow members for taking a stand for this community. If you are here and you need a resource, or if you are in crisis or something is going on, we do have some print literature here for you to give you an immediate access to something you might need today. They have it on the table over there. To show our gratitude, we have cupcakes from Nisi's Treats. We have purple cause ribbons. We have cause ribbons that are actually chocolates, actually. And we have free wristbands for everybody. And next year, we hope absolutely everyone will be purple. And we do have light bulbs to give away, and we're going to do that based on stickies as people fill them out. And we have a young man named Jake, which is a name close to my heart, who's been painting rocks to honor the loss of someone he knows. So we would like to be able to give those away as we go. And I'd like to bring back Angie. Thank you.
Kathy, thank you so much for taking what has to be the most tragic of situations and turning it to something positive and really help making a difference. And I know there are many here today, gentlemen approached me earlier, who this has touched their lives, but instead of staying home, they're out there. They're here to talk to one another and help make that difference. It seems kind of prophetic that the Islip Goes Purple is starting here in the town of Islip because the Islip School District, and Dr. Semmel is here too, Superintendent of Schools, their colors are purple. So without further ado, and before the storm comes, we've been getting all kinds of alerts. If I seem distracted, that was it. But let's get out of here before the rain comes, but not before you get your cupcakes, sign up, and your purple milkshake. Thank you so much, Anthony and James Barbecue. And wristbands. Thanks so much, everyone.